Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are joining us from in the world. I remain your instructor for today, Genesis by name. Welcome to the day 2 of Excel track, or day 3, sorry. Today is day 3 of the Excel track. In this program, MS Word and Excel beginners to advance. Okay, so the other day we're supposed to treat functions. Unfortunately, time was not our side, so we had to skip the function for today. So today we'll be treating some basic functions. By God's grace, we'll advance to others. I dropped an assignment in the last class on our Google platform. I don't know how many people or how many persons have been able to do that assignment. If you've done it, it's for your own good. If you've not done it, I will advise that you go and check it, do the assignment. The essence of your learning is to be able to use what you are learning here. All right, that being said, we'll dive straight to what we have today. Aggregators. As I explained the other, the aggregator functions are the sum function, average, mean, median, maximum count function. Maximum and count function, sorry. All right. Okay. So the other day we treated the sum function, the average function, the minimum, maximum, and count. So we'll take it again. I know the other day we're trying to rush to see how we can catch up with time. Unfortunately, time is no one's friend. All right, so I open my spreadsheet. We now have to open our spreadsheet. If you can't find it here on your taskbar, you search for it here. Just type Excel. And you see it there. Click on it, open blank for existing. This one have been created already, so I didn't go through that route. And navigated to the folder where my workbook is and open it. All right. So we'll start with the aggregators function. Let's see what they are and how to use them. This was the data we used the other day. We are still going to use the same data for today. So if we check here, the count function is here. The count function is here. The maximum function is here. Average and co. So we're trying to see the maximum shipping amount or the maximum cost of shipping, the minimum cost of shipping, the average cost of shipping, and the count of shipping, right? How many items were purchased? So they count work for both numerical and text data, right? So if I highlight like this, you see the quick analysis I told you that we can see here. Remember, if you cannot find anyone here, let's say you are looking for average is not found here on the status bar. This is the status bar. You right click on the status bar, go there and check average. So we have average here, we have count, numerical count, and code. So I've highlighted this range of cells, and we have here the average to be 810, which will also confirm here. But this was, I think this is the shipping price. We still make use of, this is the shipping plus the cost. So let make use of this and see if it will give us the same thing. So the max average here is 16,000. Same here, 0.20. Numerical count is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The total count is 6 because the heading or the header was also counted, right? Now we have numerical count to be 5 and the total count 6. So we have the minimum to be 6,450. That through here, 6,450, and we have our maximum to be 31,499. We have the sum, which is 82,196 naira. That's our sum, right? So That's how to check, that's how to use this aggregator function. What else can we do? The count function, we can count blank, we can count errors, we can count if, that's giving the condition, right? So we have various counts that we can perform, the count function. As I say, we have count blank, count if, count errors, and count text. Of course, we've used it. So we can give a condition. Let's use the count function, count if, right? We say equal to count. Okay, let's count all. The count all is like that one we check. We had the count, numerical count, and count all the other time that showed us total of 6, right? So if I use count A means count all. If I like definitely it will give us 6. I enter, this is 6. If I count without the A, it will give me 5. Let me remove the A from the formula bar and I enter. We have 5, right? Because this is numerical count. This count is numerical count. Why count A is count all. It count both text data and numerical data. Is that understood? So let's use another count that is called count blank. It will take note of all the blank cells that we have. Let's say I have a bunch of data, 1,000 row, 3,000 row, 50,000 row. I cannot just start checking like that to know if I have missing data or not. So that's part of data normalization and data cleaning. So when I'm performing data cleaning or normalization, I have to start looking for things that are not correct, that are irregular, that are missing, that do not conform to the data we have. For instance, I have a data or a number stored as text, right? Let me perform one. Let's do one thing. I'll call my phone number. My phone number is 080-348 this. Let's assume this is my phone number. I enter. You can see that there is no 0 here, right? When a 0 starts, when the 0 start value or number, a 0 will not recognize the 0 because it's insignificant. So what's the difference between 0, 4 and 4? Okay, I have 0, 4, 0, 4, and 4. What's the difference? There's no difference between 0, 4 and 4. If I count 0, 4, 0, 5, if I get to 9, the next thing will be 10. I can count 1, 2, 3, 4 without the zeros, right? So a 0 will not record your 0 for you. So if you type phone number in a 0 like this, I attended the National Population Commission specialized workforce training. When I got there, we're given phone numbers. Let me say, where to enter our phone numbers, account numbers, so they will credit us, right? Everybody in Nigeria understand that every phone number starts with 08, 07, 09, or 0 anything, right? That was not the problem. The phone numbers were not there. But where the problem lies was our account numbers. So my account number will start with 000, 3 zeros, 2 zeros, 1 0, right? So where the 0 is missing, if I have, like my account number is 003, something like this. So if I enter, this is, let me start again, 0038 like this. So you see, the zeros are not there. How do you account for this kind of account number? You are not the owner of the account number. You don't know the zeros that start this account number, right? So how will you send money to this kind of account number? You cannot. It was a problem to us, right? So we started they started looking, not me, it was their problem because I was not a data analyst in the program. I was never a data, how do they call them, data quality manager in the program. I was just a trainee. So the data quality manager tried to solve the problem using the spreadsheet. There was no way. So one guy told him that there is one guy called Genesis. When they're trying to add people's name on WhatsApp, I told them it's going to be a long process. So imagine adding 100 persons like you save their phone number before you add them on WhatsApp. I just pick his phone, I set the group chat, and pull out the QR code. I started scanning everybody's WhatsApp and then join the group without having to save their numbers, right? That was what I did. So when the guy noticed it, he said, come and go meet Genesis. There's one guy called Genesis. I believe he can solve the problem for you. They approached me. I told them there are two ways I can solve the problem for you. One is by formatting the data with what? Number. That's number formatting. Second is to add apostrophe. I'm talking of quotes. This quote like this. Add a quote before the number, the zeros will stay. But what that means is that numbers will be stored as what? Text. If this is account number, remember, text is aligned to the left, while numbers are aligned to the right. Don't forget, if I have the same account number this way, it will align to the right, but the zeros are missing because the zeros are insignificant. A zero will not record your zeros for you, right? This is number stored as text. So we'll normalize this data. How do we normalize it? I need to check if there are abnormalities in the data, if there are errors in the data. For example, if I want to count numerical counts now, you will not see, this one will not appear, right? If we run a numerical count, this will not appear. So I can count error where there are errors. Let's say we have, remember the errors we listed that day? We listed division error. We listed division error. And which other one? Again, we had division error. I think it's somewhere. Okay, this is it. We have value error, reference error, division error, and so on. So if I have errors like that here, let's say, let me intentionally insert or impute an error here. Let's say 20 divided by 0. Definitely it will give us, sorry, I didn't enter equal to. So Excel will not know that it's a calculation. It gives me what? Division error. So let me count errors that we have in this data set, in this very column, and also count the blank spaces that we have. So let me consciously insert another blank cell here. Okay. Well, I can enter. If I want to insert a cell here, I right click here and say insert cell. Insert cell. Insert cell. Where is the cell? Insert cell and shift down. I insert a cell here. So let me count. I use equal to count error. You see, we have count A. Where is count error? Oh. We have if error. We have count ifs. There's no count error here. We're supposed to have no count error here. We have count A. Okay. Is if error that we can use if error. There's a function called if error, but we'll not use it because that's not what we are looking for. So let me return back. We don't have count error. Let's check for count blank equal to count blank. How many blank spaces are here? Count blank, blank. We have count blank here. I click on it. I want to highlight this. How many blank cells we have? I enter. It will count the blank cells for me. Oh. What does this mean to me as a data person or personnel? It means I have two missing data here because this blank represents missing data, right? So I will need to sort for it and handle the missing data. Do you understand? So for me to do that, I can use a filter to handle this, but that's not where we are. We're still looking for count error, count if. So let me check another one. I say we can use count if. That will give me the condition. I say equal to count if the cell or the value is greater than 10,000, right? Count if what? We have count if, which is double if. I'll select a range. This is the range I'm looking for. So now I can say count if this is greater than what? Greater than 10,000. We are not scared of errors in Excel, programming, and what we do. We are not scared of it. So do not be scared. If we encounter error, definitely will solve it later. Definitely, I have error here, right? So I'm trying to say count if the whole of this is greater than 10. If any of the cell is greater than 10, right? How do I handle this? This is the criteria. What is the criteria? So let me see where the problem is. Okay, there's definitely a problem here. Who can tell me how we can solve this problem? I don't know how we can solve it, but if you know how we can solve it, please tell me. Please tell me. Do you see? What was the problem? We have a special character here. This is not a special character, it's an operator, right? So for me to perform, this is a different thing entirely, and this side is a different thing. This is the range of cells that this criteria or criterion will be checked, isn't it? There's a criteria. It was a criteria greater than 10,000. So the syntax is we must use double quotes before the operator we introduced here when dealing with count if or if functions. Okay, so that's what we have here. We have 6. If you check here, you see that 7 is less than 10,000. This is less than 10,000. This is greater than 10,000. 1, 2, 3, 3, right? 4, 5. Where is the 6? I think this is 6 greater than 10,000. So if I change the operator, which is the comparison operator, to less than 10, the result will change. Less than 10,000, the result will change to 3. Definitely, we have just this that's less than 10,000. We have this that's less than 10,000, and this is also less than 10,000. Is that understood? So let's assume I want to use multiple criteria. Let's see how we can keep multiple criteria. I don't know. Let's check count ifs or let's say okay. Let's say count if. We have count blank here. We have used it already. Let's use count ifs function. We have how many criteria? We have 2 criteria. Criteria 1, criteria 2, right? I'll give the first criteria. I'll give the second criteria, right? The criteria might be, okay, this is greater than 10,000 and this side is less than 10,000. Count it for me. Where is this side here is greater than 10,000, this one is less than 10,000. Count it for me. Or let's say this is greater than 10,000 and this is equal to 600. So count it for me. So that's how we will give the criteria. So to check this very row, this very column, and this very column, if it is the same. Let's try it and see. If it works for us, fine. If it does not work for us, what do? We'll not kill ourselves, right? So let's check. The criteria is the whole of this. Count ifs. Let me expand this and see. Okay, let's check. Criteria, this is equal to, remember, sorry, the shipping price is equal to 6, comma, equal to what? Equal to 600. And this other side, the second criteria is what? Second criteria, I'll look for criteria 2, right? I highlight this. Is greater than what? Or is less than 10,000, count it for me. This, comma, is less than 10,000. 10,000. Give me what I need. So do you see? Check, there are 2 criteria here. What are the criteria? Check if this shipping cost is equal to 600, but here is less than 10,000. So I can also change it, right, to say the shipping cost is greater than a particular amount and this is less than 10,000. So let's check. Let me say shipping cost is greater than 6,000 or 600 or is equal to or greater than 600. Where is it again? Greater than or equal to 600. Greater than or equal to 600. It's still 1. Greater than 600. This is greater than 600, but it's not less than 10,000. Do you understand? This is greater than 600. This is not even greater than 600, but it must be less than 10,000. So if I say less than or equal to 350 or 300, let's change it to 300 and see what will happen. If you don't understand, please ask your question at this point. You understand the difference between the count if, the count ifs, the count? Anyone that is lost, please ask your question. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I want to answer your questions. Okay, I think I have a question in the chat here. Hello. Sorry, I lost my connection. Okay, we are here. You said your village people are after you. What's the problem? Check the formula here. This is the formula, right? For count.
Network. I don't have follow up, sir.
Yes, the network is generally poor today, including mine. Okay, check again. This is the formula, right? We are saying count if or count ifs, the one that has S at the end.
Let's move on.
Okay. So you can check the formula here. This count ifs. I say count if, check 2 criteria. Let me use a practical example. I want to check, right? It's like a filter. This count if or the if function is like a filter, right? We want to filter things. I want to say come to class B if your name is Mr. Ephraim. I'm trying to filter. If you are not Mr. Ephraim, don't come to class B, right? Or I want to say come to class B if your name is Mr. Ephraim and you are married. Then if you have more than 2 Mr. Ephraim, one is not married, then the one that is not married should not come. That way we use what? We make use of the if function. Come to class A if your name is Mr. Ephraim. That way we use what? Count if, right? When we are checking, if you are Ephraim, come to class B. If you are not Ephraim, stay there. Then I want to check again. I want to add another criteria to say if you are Mr. Ephraim and you are married. That way I will say, okay, come to class B. If your name is Mr. Ephraim and you are married, and further filtering to draw people whose name are Mr. Ephraim, but they are not married, right? I'm doing this to get the desired result I need. I guess you understand it. Okay, please, if you don't understand, you let me know. Because your silence means no to me, or yes, or confusion. If you are confused, it's not good. Ask your questions. I'm here for you. Okay, we'll move to the second thing we have. Other functions. We have the set function, we have the train function, we have the left, right, upper, lower, concatenate, quotient, low, modulo, today function, nt, and value function. I love these functions you see here. You get to appreciate them. Okay, let us start with this function, the quotient flow or floor and modulo. So let's start with quotient, floor, and modulo. The quotient, floor, and modulo are division functions, right? They are operators. They are like operators. The operator, what? Division operator. We have division here. Where is it? Division operator. So the floor, the quotient are what? Division functions. In Python and other programming languages, they act as operators. They are not, yes, they are operators. Call them operators, division operators. Okay, so let us use the quotient here. Let us see how it works. I will use a number that we can easily see, 10 and what? And 3. We will easily see the result of this. So let me use a function called quotient equal to quotient what? It will ask me what is the numerator and what is the denominator. My numerator is 10, comma, my denominator is 3, and I close my bracket, I enter. So what does this tell us? It's saying quotient divide something without a remainder, right? It is not interested in what remains after division. It's saying divide something for me without a remainder. Keep the remainder to yourself. I don't need it. So let me say this is 12. If this is 12, who can tell me what the quotient will be? This is 12. Okay, let's continue. This is 4. So let's use modulo. Modulo, what will modulo do for us? Still the same thing, right? We'll still use the same data here. Equal to modulo or mode, right? This is it. It's asking me for what? Number. The number I'm using is this cell, comma. What is the divisor? The divisor is 3. And I close my bracket. What will modulo handle for us? Modulo is saying I'm interested in what will remain after division, right? I'm interested on what will remain after division. So if you are dividing something by something, whatever remains, bring it to me. That's what I want to see. You get? Whatever that remains after division, bring it to me. That's what I am interested on. So let us see what the floor will handle for us. Floor is saying whatever that can go without a remainder, give it to me. So definitely, what will be the floor? Who can tell me the answer? Equal to floor. Who can tell me the answer? I say floor is saying whatever that will remain after division. No, sorry. Whatever that can go without a remainder, bring it, let me know it. So we have 12 divided by 3. What will be our floor? The answer is in front of us. Right? You can unmute your mic and talk. And if you are not talking, please mute your mic. Everybody's mic is on. If you are not talking, mute your mic because I'm receiving noise here. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, if you are talking, please talk. Or you drop a message on the chat box.
Okay, as of me, I'm following the way I can. I don't know.
Okay.
Sometimes the network will just log me out before I come in.
Okay, this is what we're saying. We say floor. This is floor. Floor will definitely give us 12. Let me help us. Floor will give us 12. As a floor said, give me a number that can go without a remainder. So we're trying to say that this quotient, modulo, and floor are what? Division functions, right? So what it handles for us, this quotient handles what can go, what everybody will have without a remainder. Let's assume that I want to share 13 bags of rice. I will say, how many bags of rice can 3 persons get, right, without a remainder? I say 3 persons can get 4 bags of rice without a remainder. That word quotient. The modulo would handle what will remain when you divide 13 bags of rice by 3 persons. So when you divide 13 bags of rice, each person will have 4. What will remain is 1. So I am interested in knowing the bag of rice, the number of bags of rice that will remain when dividing 13 by 3. So if I change this to something like 15, definitely I'll have 0 here, because 15 by 3, you have 5, right? If I further change it to 17, or let's say 18, and you see, we still have 0. 18 by 3 is 6. You get? So, but let me change it to something like 26. And let's see how it goes. Sorry, 20. Oh, God. This was imputed. Okay, let me change to 26. And let's see. So, 26 is saying, when you divide 26 by 3, 26 bags of rice by 3, everybody will have how many bags of rice? 8 bags. Modulo is saying 2 bags of rice will remain. Then it means what can go without the remainder. If you know that 2 bags can remain and everybody is getting 8, then definitely you know from 26 minus 2, what will remain is 24. So when you know your modulo, you automatically know your floor. You know what is expected, the numerator. You should know your floor when modulo has been calculated. We have 26, and I'm saying 2 bags will remain. 26 minus 2, definitely 24 will go without a remainder. So this floor is saying 24 bags of rice will go into 3 places without a remainder. Is that understood? I guess yes. All right. So let's go to the next thing we have. The next thing here we have is the search function, the len, the trim, left, and co. So let us start with the search function. The search function, let me use of this sheet, the data we have here. Remember what I said before. If you have data like this, that you cannot see the entire data, it means the space is not enough. What you can do is to click on the grid line between it and drag to the right. Or you stand there and double click on the grid line. We have this. So let's say this is a function. This is our function, and I want to use the search function here. Let's start with the search function. What does the search function do? The search function is looking for the position of a character, a text, or a string, or even a number, right? If I have this number here, I want to search for 5. Okay, let me do 2 things here. I want to search for number, and I want to also search for what? A character. A character is like A to Z. Okay, let's search for character. We search for string, and we also search for a number, right? Search is here. Once I see the search, I double click. Sorry, this is search for search, right? I double click. What am I searching for? Find what? I want to find the text M. Since M is a text, we'll enclose it in what? Double quote. I open my double quote, I type M, and I close my double quote, comma, within the text. So the text I'm looking for M is this place, which is A2. That where my M is. I'm looking for M there, right? I'm done. I close my bracket, and it will return the position of M for me. So if you check here, Keshi is a 6-letter word, plus the space is 7. M is 8. So it means the position of M is in position 8. I can drag this down to search for position of M in other cells. You can see that M here is in position 3. You'll be wondering, this is AM. It's supposed to be 2, right? But there's a problem here. What's the problem? The problem is there is a space before the A. And that's where the trim function will come in, right? The trim function will handle that for us. You get? Trim function will handle this for us. It will trim all the extra spaces for us. These are value errors. It's saying the value you are looking for does not exist. So let me change this to say something like Maureen. I want to say for Maureen, right? Say for Maureen. Let's see what it gives us. It still gives us what? 8. It takes, okay? Where does it for Maureen? I'll copy up Maureen. Maureen is still in what? Position 8. And let's check down. There is no other Maureen here. So the position of Maureen in this place is in position 8. It will start from Keshi, so it will take the first letter in the name or the string and record it. So Maureen is in position 8 in this very word string. As well as the M, if I'm searching for only M, you see that the rest, I can still have M somewhere, but there is no Maureen here. And remember, it is enclosed in word double quote. So let us say for another thing, a number, let's say for 5 here. This time around, we'll not use A, we'll use what? B2. So a number is not a string. We don't need to enclose it in double quote. We leave it like this. So what is the position of 5 in B2? In B, right? The position of 5 in B2, is there 5 here? It did not give us anything. You know why it's like this? Yes, this is B2, right? And 5 is here, but it's not showing. This because this is a date. Let's say if we can handle this, if we can search for a number, position of a number too, right? It works the same way the text works. Let's enclose it in double quote and see if it will pull out the result for us. Enclose it in double quotes. Enclose it in double quotes. And let's see. It's not giving us what we want, right? But let me type figures here or here and see if we can pick out 5 from this word, this data. I'll search for 5 again instead of using a different one. So let me check. This is what B4. Sorry, E4. I change this B2 to what? E4. B2 to E4. E4. I enter. What's the position of 5? No way, there is no 5 here. So let's change it to something 2 or 3. 3. The position of 3 in this data is what? 2, right? 2, 3. And here we enclose the 3 in double quote. Why? This is number stored as text or a mixture of numbers and text. So we cannot say this is a number or this is a text, right? It's a mixture of numbers and text. So definitely we enclose it in double quote. So let me remove this and type only numbers and see. So the position of 2 or 3 is still what? 2 here in this case. So let me add other numbers. Position of 3 is still 2. Okay, let me add other numbers again. The position change to 4. Are we following? Okay, so I was saying we can handle these errors. Let me return back to M in A2, right? M in A2. A2. So we're searching for M, which is Maureen. If I highlight down using the fill handle or copy down, you see that we have value error here. How do we handle this error? I said I don't want it to display error like this. Instead of displaying error, it will say not found, isn't it? So I don't want this error here. I want it not found where the value we are looking for is not available. Tell me it is not found instead of displaying error like this because it looks messy, right? So for us to achieve that, we introduce another function which is called the logical function, as we say, or say conditional function, right? So the logical function will help us to handle that, which is the if function. If error, remember the if and search are both functions. So it's like saying I am nesting a function inside another function. I open my bracket. So what the exec will do, it will first look for the function inside. It will search for whatever that is here and check if there is error. Then it returns something for me because this function start from this search M and ends here. I'll say comma. This if now, when it search for this, if there is error, what should it return? I say it should return not found. So when there is error, we see any error, return, give me what? Not found. So I put my comma. This is like the first condition, or what it will check for. It should check for this, which is the first condition. If the condition is met, do me something for me. So if error. Don't forget, it's not just IFO, it's if error. That's the condition. If error, right? If there is error, give me not found. And the not found is a text. Remember, we will enclose it in double quote. Not found, right? Not found. Okay. But let me use or later. It makes sense. Not found. Not found. And I close my quote. I close my bracket. I enter. So here there is no error. So definitely it will not return not found. So if I scroll, if I highlight down or drag down, it will show me not found, not found, not found, where there is errors. So instead of error, the if error helped me to handle that. Remember the other time I was trying to say count error, but there is no function as such as count error. But we have what if error. Is that understood? Okay, so this function one, this is search function, search. Okay, so the second thing I mentioned here, I said there are spaces here. Let me first use a function called left, which extracts a string for us, right? I use a function called left. We have a function called left, and we have a function called right. So the function left will return the string from the left side for us, depending on what we specify. If I specify that I should return 2 values, 3 values, or whatever I want it to return, it will return it for me. So first, I will just say left. Left will return 1 value for us, or 1 text for us. Not a text, rather, 1 character, a letter. I will just say equal to left, or this is left function. I come down, equal to left, open my bracket, left word A2, right? A2. So I say, give me left of A2. Definitely the first character here in A2 is N. So if I drag down, you see that some of them, it will not return anything. So all this word that is not returning anything, it means there is a space before the word, the text. If you check N and P started from the beginning, the rest here, there is a space before Emmanuel, there's a space before something. So if I edit this to delete the extra space, definitely E will be returned. Can you see? E is returned. And here, the position of M changes from 3 to 2. It was 3 here, right? So when I deleted the space here, it returned 2. And here returns E for me. Okay, so what can we do? Again, the left function, I said here, I did not state the number of characters that should be returned. I can specify and say return 3 characters for me. Then it return NKE because I say return the first 3 characters for me. In the same vein, if I drag down, you see where we have spaces, it will return instead of 3, it will be returning 2 because it returned the space plus the character that follow the space, right? So we can also use right function to get the same thing. Right function will start from the right. If I say extract right, it will start from N, E, down like this. So I say right, the function called right function, right? Okay, here, instead of the 3, let me remove the 3, so it will return the first character for me. So here it return N for Maureen, what N says. It will return the last character for us here, right? I can also specify that you return 5 characters for me. Return word 5. It will return 5 characters in each of the string, in each of the text, in each of the cell. It will return 5 for us. So here we have easy, and there's a space before N for Queen easy. So it will return easy, space, and the N. Any question? If you want us to proceed, please drop it on the chat box. If you have any question, ask. Okay, ask your question, sir. You can unmute your mic or you type it. Okay, if I can't hear you, then I proceed. Left. Okay, there's another function called, what can I use to properly align a scattered text? Okay, what do you mean by a scattered text? If a text is scattered, okay, there's alignment panel here. This is the alignment panel. You can see my cursor or my mouse here, right? So if this is being aligned to the right or the left, you can align it here. See, this like right alignment. This is center alignment and the word left alignment. Does that answer your question? You mean spaces? Okay, yes, we'll come to that. That's the next thing we'll do now. Okay, we have what is called trim function. Trim. I think you mean, how do you trim a text that has spaces, right? I get that what you mean. So to trim a text that have spaces, what do? We use a function called trim equal to, spaces, yeah, equal to trim. What do we trim? We want to trim this text that has extra spaces. Okay, so you see it will return Keshi, no space, Keshi, and all of that. So this one, you can see there are no spaces. If I use the right function or the left function again, equal to left, it will return the first letters for us because there are no spaces there. Did I get it? Okay, it's not G, it's F, right? Instead of G2 is F2, right? Return N, and the rest will also return. I drag down. Coach, sorry, Prof, you get it now? Does that answer your question, sir? Okay, we proceed. That's the trim function. The next function we'll be looking at is the len function. Len. Len will look for the number, the length of the text for us. The length of the text. What is the length of this text? Nkechi and Morin. It will count everything here for us and tell us, okay, this Nkechi is 6-letter words. Morin is 7-letter words. Plus the space is how many? 7 plus 6. 7 plus the mathematician is 13 plus the space is 14, right? So it will return 14 for us. That's the length of the text. Okay, thank you, sir. You got it. All right, equal to len. It will return the length of the text for us, the length of the string for us, right? Length of this F2. I enter. Like I said, before we even before we wrote the function, I told you the length is what, 14, because it will count the total length plus the space for us. So we use that to handle this. Okay, so we have done left, right, trim, length. So the next one is upper. Upper. Want to check in Excel? There is nothing like this. Okay, I did something here. Let me type something like Marine. This is a name, right? So we can change from capital letter to small letter using this uppercase, lowercase, capitalized each word. right? So we can do this in MS Word, but there is no such option in Excel. For us to convert to uppercase, which is capital letter, we must use a function called upper, right? So I want to convert this to uppercase. What do I do? Equal to upper, sorry, F2, F2, I close my bracket and I enter. It converts the string or text to capital letter, everything. Okay. I use another function called lower to convert to lowercase for me. Lower, the function is called lower, equal to lower. What again? F2. We still use F2. I close my bracket and it will convert everything to a small letter for me. So if I want to capitalize each word, what will I use? Remember, when we converted everything to uppercase, we use upper. We converted to lowercase, we use lower. Then if I want to change to capitalize each word, like the first letter of each word will be capital letter. What function can I use? Please drop it on the chat box. It's funny because I know you might not know it, or Prof will know it. Okay, without wasting our time, the function is called proper function. So I equal to proper, right? Okay, it's one P, sorry. Proper F2. The first letter of each word will be capital. Okay. So the last thing, we'll use how many? Search, length, trim, left, upper, lower. We've done concatenate before, quotient, flow, today, text, n, t, value. Oh, I love this tree. This tree, we've done n and t before, but this value and today function is very, very important to us. We've done concatenate before, and we'll still concatenate strings here. Okay? So here, we use a function. Which other one have we not used here? Before we use today function and value function, let me show you how we can leverage this right and left function properly. Normally, when we are collecting data, you not collect data, surname and first name together like this in the same column. What do? We use them on different columns, right? So I want to separate the surname. This is name, this is name, right? I want to separate the surname from the surname from the first name, right? So I can say this is my first name. Let me insert a new column here. I insert another column again. Insert another one. So I want to have first name here. First name, this is the proper way. First name, right? And I want to have last name here. Last underscore name here. So how do I do that? How do I achieve that? I want to first extract, let's assume that the first one, okay, I think, let me use this one, this side, right? That I have trim already. Which one did I trim? Trim. This is a trim, right? So I will use it from this side, trim, right? So first, I'll say, or I'll use this very one, this upper side, because I have capital letter. Let me say I want to use capital letters here, or proper. Exactly. I'll use the proper function. This side L2. So I want to get my first name from this L2, and I will get my last name from the F2, right? Okay, so for me to do that, I want to delete this very name here and use this side. But to achieve that, I need to change this from formulas. Let's see, if I delete Moraine here, this one will return nothing. I delete this. You see, this one is returning nothing because it's referencing this very cell here. And all of them here is showing nothing. Can you see? Because all of them derive their answer from they reference this very cell, cell A2. So when I delete the content of A2, everything is gone. Everything is gone. So let me extract from here this proper. So I say equal to, I want to extract the first name. Let's assume that the one on the left is our first name. So I want to extract the first name, which is Nkechi. So we know that Nkechi is a 6-letter word, right? I say equal to left, L2, L2. Sorry, I'll open my bracket. L2, comma 6, comma 6. It will extract Nkechi for me. So let me highlight, let me copy it down. So you see that Emmanuel is not complete. Amaka, Sie, and others, right? Goodness is not complete, right? Because Nkechi is a 6-letter word, it will only extract 666 for us. So in a case where we have, let me say like 1,000 record, we cannot be doing each of them, each of the cell, right? So we need to use something that will help us to solve that. By that, I will say we use simple mathematics. I say we have search here. It will search for the position of something for us, right? And return that position. So instead of us saying return 6 for me, I'll say search for the position of space, then return the space for me. I can even minus the space again. So instead of using just left, I'll say what? Left. Here we have 6. In place of 6, I introduce a function called search. Search for what for me? Search space for me. So, as I was saying, I said now we want to extract the name in such that when we get to each of them, it should return the exact first name for us. Instead of cutting Emmanuel, cutting goodness, and all of that. So what do? We say left already. Left, we specify that it should return 6 for it to return Nkechi for us. But now instead of it returning 6, we say it should search for something for us, which is what? Space. We now after first name, we have with space before the last name, right? So it should search, once you get with the space, it should return the length. It should return the position of the space for us. Please, if you are not talking to us, mute your mic. Mute your mic. Mr. Ephraim, mute your mic.
As you know, yeah.
Okay, mute your mic, please, Prince Tommy. Thank you very much. Okay, so instead of it returning 6 for us, we say to set for position of what? Space. Remember, as a space, we use double quote to give a space, right? I use double quote, I space, double quote. The space is a text, don't forget. Because when we extracted text, the space was also extracted, don't forget. So I enter, why is it giving us error? Who can tell me what the error is? I entered and it's showing me error. You have entered few arguments for this. What is the error? We have a bracket that we have not closed here. This bracket is for search. So we need to close the bracket for what? Left. I close the bracket. Okay. Oh, yeah. I enter few arguments. What is it saying? I'm looking for text, which is space. Where should it look for space for me? It should look for space in what? A2 for me, comma, A2. A. That way we are looking for the space and I enter. So here it returns Nkechi for me. I will copy it down. And the rest is not returning something. Definitely it will return Nkechi. It will return them. Why is this like this? Okay. No. You see, it's not L, it's not A2, it is L2. Check. Here, the A2 here is what? A2, there are spaces here. That's why it's returning this EE for us. So it's not A2, instead it's what? L2. Remember, we are copying from this way we are extracting it from. So instead of A2, we say what? L2. That way the mistake is. So I copy down. And you see, so we have the first names extracted. So how do we extract the last name from here? How do we get it? We use the same function, but this time around, we use the right function. If we are extracting something from the left, of course, the first name is on the left. We use the left function. Now we want to extract the right, the last name, which is on the right. So we use what? The right function. But this time around, we'll not just use right and use search, because if we search for something, it will definitely return the position of search, which is here for us, right? Sorry, let me use something here. This is the search. If we search for space, it will return this space. And if we say it will return the position of space for us, it will definitely return here, it will return 7. And 7 here will give us mooring. It will work. So let's try it. Equal to right function right. Right of what? This very L2, comma. We said instead of, we know mooring is a 7-letter word. If we use 7, don't forget we have mooring, but the rest call that their length will not be 7. So we start having all those something. So this won't give us what we want, right? It won't give us, because if to correct it, we have to correct it one by one. That praise here, OG, is a 4-letter word. If I change it to 4, it will give me OG. But what if I have thousands of records? How do I solve this? So to solve that, that's why we use something called what? Search and others. So here, instead of 7, we can still use the function search. We use search function to search for the position of the empty space. Do not forget, we need to open another bracket for the search. Then, what are we searching for? I want to search a space. I use double quote. I space between the double quote, comma. Where should this search for the space for me? It is definitely in position what? L or cell L2. So, comma, L2. I enter. What is this? We found a typo. Yes, there is a typo. Who can tell me the typo here? There is a typo. What is the typo? What is not spelled rightly here? Who can tell us? Find text. L2. All right. So we didn't close the last bracket for the word, for the right. This bracket is for search. So we need to close another bracket for the right. So that's the typo. We have handled this. And what did it return for us? We say right. It will give us the right of the search. It will pull what for us. It return the position of the search, which is 7. But that's not what we are looking for. Give me right of this. So I have discovered something that people have not discovered here. We said, give me right. From where should I give you right? Right of what? We need right of what? L2. Right of L2. There is also a mistake there. So give me right of L2. Instead of saying give me 7, I say search for the space, which is what? Definitely 7. And I enter. It gives me mooring, because mooring is a 7-letter word. And the space here is in position 7. Do not forget. Space in, we have Nkechi is a 6-letter word plus the space is 7. And I drag down. So here I have mooring, but the rest is giving me wrong result. So to solve this issue, the search will not work here when dealing with the right. What we are extracting something from the right, the search will not work. So you introduce another function. Remember here we have len, a function called len. Then we have another function called search, right? So combine len and the search function to give us what we want to extract the last name. Follow me. If I have the length here, the length of this is what? 14 for mooring. The length is 14. 1, 4. Here 4 is Maureen and Keshi. The length of this cell or text is 14. Then I will say subtract something for me. Subtract what? The space for me to return something. So what is the space here? We have the space. Where do we do search of space? Okay, this time around, let us search for what? Space. Let's search for space. Instead of searching for M, we should search for space. We search for space here. The space is 7, don't forget. The space here is 1. But for this, instead of using this, let us use L2 instead of using A2. So we'll get what we need exactly. L2, this is 7. I have a question. You need to close the bracket. Thank you, Prof. Thank you very much. So here, we have the search of the space is 7. Here, the space is 7. 1, 2 is 7. For praise, the space is 7. Praise is a three-letter word plus space is 7. Emmanuel is how many letter words? Emma, 5. Noel, 4. That's 9 letter words, right? Or 8. Okay, this 8 letter words. Yes. Plus the space is 9. That's why we have 9 here. Okay? So this is what we are going to do. We say the length of it minus the space should give us the position, to give us something. That's what it should return for me. The total length of this is 14 minus the space, which is 7. The remaining thing that remains, that is what you should give me from the right hand side. Are you following? So here, the search is 7. So 14 minus 7 is 7, right? So it will return 7 for me from the right. 7 values, 7 character from the right. So Maureen is 7. So here, praise 2. The search for this, or the total length is 11 minus 7 for OG, minus 7, which is what? The space. 11 minus 7 is what? 4. So it will return 4 for me from the right. So the 4, it will start from IGOR. So it will return 4 for me from the right, which will definitely give us what? OG. So this is like saying this, let me even enter it here, equal to the length, comma, minus the space. I enter. That for the first one. If I drag down length minus space, you can see I drag down, you see length minus space until here. So the last one here is 3, right? The 3 length minus the search, which is space, 11. This is 9. This is like saying 12 minus 9 is how many? 12 minus 9. What is the answer? Is 3, right? And Odo is a 3-letter word. So it will definitely return Odo for us. So what we just did now is what it will return. Instead of saying search, or let me say right of 7, or right comma 7, we say extract from the right 7 characters from the right for me. So instead of it returning, instead of us say typing 7 manually, we'll use a function, combine 2 functions, which is what? The search and the length. So we'll say search minus length. Whatever that will remain is the result that we have here. When you minus the search, which is the length, you minus the search from the length, you get 7. Minus the search from the length here, you get 4. Minus the search from the length here, you get what? 5. So that's what it will return for us here. Instead of me typing 5, typing all these numbers for each of them here, I will use a function and it will return it for me. That is for what? The last name here. You see that this one did not work for us, right? So I will now say right of L2. What do? I say length minus search. So the length minus search, we have to enclose it in a bracket, right? Enclose it in bracket because we are dealing with another calculation there. We say length, comma, length of what? Length of this L2. Length of what? The text. We open bracket. The text is what? L2. What is the length of L2? The length of L2 definitely is 14, right? I close the bracket and I say minus what? The search of L2. The search of space here, because we are searching for space. The space here is what? The space is 7, space here is 7, space here is 9. So whatever it gets as a length, it will minus the space for us. So if you minus the space here, from here to here, what will remain is this side now. From here, press to this side, what will remain is this side. So the length of all this minus this side, it will give you this side. That's what it will handle for us. Then I've closed my bracket here. I need to close another bracket again. So I've handled how many brackets now? 1 for this, 2 for this. Then I close the other one. The last bracket I will close is for the right. I close the bracket here and I enter. It's showing me value error. What is it trying to tell us? Let's look for it carefully. Give me the length of L2, which is this, comma, minus search of what? Space in L2. Then I close the bracket for this has been closed, which is this. Then for search is this. The other bracket, this for length. No, there are 2 brackets here. Error. The length of this, exactly. Search of this, the bracket is okay. Yeah, you need to be very, very careful with these brackets of 18. So, right. The first one here, we should handle this bracket. This length, right, of L2, okay? Let's leave this right first. We close bracket. Length, we have this is closed. Search, we have this is closed. Then we close bracket for length and search together. So the last bracket we'll close is for the right. So there's an extra bracket here that we need to remove. We enter. Can you see? It has solved the problem for us. So if I drag down, the problem is solved. So it extracted the last name for us. Any question? Prof, thank you very much. You are so active in the class, so I love this. All right. Prince, do you have any question for us? Prof, do you have any question for us on how we manage to extract the first name and the last name from our data from column name or the name column? We extracted the last name, the first name from the name column. Any question before we proceed to the date to this function? What else do we do? We have another function here called the t, the n, and the value. I love this value function and today's function. The today's function, we use your date of birth. So here, this data, we have name here. Then this is what date of birth, DOB for date of birth, right? So if I want to calculate your years, how old are you? Okay, we need to know today's date to calculate your date of birth. Sorry, your age from your date of birth. So with that, I will introduce you to what is called today's function. Today's function will give you the date, the current date, right? Equal to today. There's a function called today. I open and close the bracket. It will print today's date for me. Today's date is definitely 2nd of May, 2025. So with this function, today's function, it will tell you the current date, right? So want to know each person's date of birth here. So don't worry. I mean, each person's age, not date of birth. We know each person's age here, right? So for us to do that, we use some functions. So I'll do value of this and value of this to get it. Okay? So pay attention, we'll get it. There's a function called value. Value. What does the value do? Value will check if something is a number and we return the number, right? Is this a value? Yes. So let's say we have this search here. Let us check equal to value of this. If it is a number, it will return it value. Okay. I did not type the value. Don't forget to type the function value of this. And it will return is 7. 7 is a value. You can see. it will return the values. But let's check something like this is E2, right? Let's check F2 if it will give us the same thing. Instead of E2, we say F2. F2, is it a value? We have value error because this is a text, a string, and not a value. So it will not return it for us as a value. It will not return it for us as a value or to us. So these aren't values. They are what? Text and strings. But if I go back to E2, it will definitely return E2 for me because it's a value. E2 for me is a value. E2. I enter, we have 7 is a value. So let us also check the date. Date is a value. That is D2. I change this to D2 and I enter. So it gives us the value of the date. So each date has a unique what? Serial number. So why is this one not giving us the D2? D2. Where is it? I mean D4 rather. D4. Okay, this date is not valid. Maybe this Excel does not understand this 1880 something. The Excel day started from 1990 something or so. So instead of let's have 1980, 85. And you see, so it means it didn't start from 80s. Excel day started from 90s and not 80s. It started from 19th century and not 18th century. All right. So each date has a unique serial number. This is the serial number of the dates. All of these dates, today's date, I can also have serial number for today's date equal to value of this. Value of this. I close my bracket and I enter. So this is the serial number for today's date. This is the serial number for today's date. So each date has a serial number, a unique serial number for it. No two dates have the same serial number. So let me check serial number for yesterday's date. Yesterday was 01/05/2025. So if I copy this up, what is the serial number for yesterday's date? So you check. This is the serial number 45,778. 45,779. So you see that it is adding by 111. So seeing that time that they started giving the numbers from 1900, that was when it actually started. Excel started recording date from 1900. So from that day to today, we have how many days that have been recorded? Total of 45,778 days. Do you get? Today, from that time, is how many? 45,779 days. So if we divide it by 60, we know how many years they started, right? By 360. If I say equal to this day divide by 365 days, how many years? 125 years. Do you get? 125 years. That was when Excel started recording dates. It started recording dates 125 years ago. Is that understood? Yes. The value for each date, as I said, each date has a unique serial number. Let's say we want to start recording dates from today. So today's date will carry serial number 1. Tomorrow's date will carry serial number 2 till it gets to this very one, 45,779 days from when they started recording the dates. So when we converted it to years, for us to get the years from this value here, we divide the days by the days in a year. How many days are there in 1 year? There are 365 days. Apart from leap year, that is 366 days. So we divide this by 365 to get the years, the current years here, right? In this serial number, the years in this serial number are how many years? 125 years. Okay, so I say we want to calculate the date of birth using this very function called the value function and today's function. This is today's function. You type today equal to today, open bracket, close bracket. It will print out the current date for you. So I have a question here, and how can you determine the age or the oldest by looking at the numbers? Yes, you can determine which one is the oldest. If you check here between this and this, which one is the oldest? Definitely this is older than this. If you are 5 years, right? Okay, let's say we said your firstborn is position 1, right? And the second born is position 2. So if you see 1, you know that 1 is older than 2, right? So if you are position 5 by birth, definitely you are younger than somebody who is occupying position 2. So here, this is 78 and this is 79. So we should know that 78 is older than 79. The same thing here, for us to know the oldest person here, how do we check it? This is, we should check for the least number. The least number is the oldest. So for me to do that, I can just sort it. Okay, let's just finish first. Let me leave this value here and calculate the date of birth here. Then we'll sort ascending here to know the oldest person, and we'll also check it by their ages to know if it is true or false. Okay, so let me do that quickly. To check the date of birth, we say equal to convert the date of birth, equal to value, right? Value of this date of birth here, right? No, value of today. This is today. We'll minus your date of birth from today's date to know your age. So value of this, comma, no bracket, minus value, value of D word, D2 have been highlighted, and I say, I close my bracket. So we have what? This is what we have. 10,000 Guinea. So, but it's not what we want. We need it in what? Yes, because we are calculating date of birth. I put this in bracket, right? Divide by 365 to get your date, your age, using your date of birth. So this is saying this person is 29.9 years. So we are not looking at the months. We're looking at only what days. So we should remove the decimal places to what? 0 decimal place. So this person is 30 years. But this, what this will do for us now, we don't need this because this person is not 30 years yet. But since we 0 the decimal place, it's not telling us the person is what? 30 years. Do you understand? So that's not what we want. We don't want this. For us to handle this, I'll use another function called round, the round function. So let me just leave this the way it is like this. Then I'll use the round function in another column. So this is the value function that we've used here. So if I go down, we have errors, right? We'll start having minus. Why? This is referencing which cell? You can see this is referencing D15, right? And here we have D13. So this is everything should take reference here in this today's function, which is D13. Everything you take reference here. So for us to do that, what do? We block the 13 so that it will not be referencing down. What do? I stand here and block the 13. That's referencing now. I use $sign to block the 13 so that it will not be going down again. So I enter, we still have 29. And if I go down, you see. So definitely, if you check here, somebody that was born 2005, May 5, 2005, is how many years? It's 20 years today, right? But we've not gotten to May 5, right? 5th May 2005, and this is 2025. We've not gotten to this person is not yet, I think this person is not yet 20 years, isn't it? Because we've not reached May 5. But here is telling us the person is 20 years already. Why? Because we use let me expand it. Okay. So let's change this to May 15. And let's see. Okay, sorry. May 15. Is this saying the person is 20 years? So let's take it again here. Equal to this is this. And the problem is from here where we started. Okay. All right, you can see that the person is 19 years. Can you see? Even if I change this to 5, the person is still 19 years. The person is not yet 20 years because we've not reached 15 or 5. We've not reached 5. Okay, 5 would automatically, if the difference between today and next tomorrow is low. So you can see it. But let's use 15 because we are not yet there. And I'll round it up using round function. 15. Let me use 15. So we use a round function to round it up to only round down to 0, right? It will round down, not round up. To round down. So I have a function called round. This is age. I have a function called round. It will round numbers to the nearest. If I say round, I can either round number in 2 decimal place, 1 decimal place, 0 decimal place, right? So I use a function called round function. But now I want to round down. I want to round down to 0. What am I rounding? I want to round this down to what? 0. It will not give me anything. It will only return 29 for me, right? Forget the rest. So now I can 0 this to 0. Not give me anything. It will only give me their ages, right? So these are their ages. This person is 31 years. This person is, okay, let me see, round of age. Round underscore age. Round age. Okay. So is it that person is 29 years? This one is 19 years, and so on and so forth. So, like I said, Prof, you ask a question, how do we know the oldest person? So let us insert a filter here, right? Or we should sort here. Where can we get our sorting? We'll sort here. Where can we get sorting and filtering? Go to data. So we have sorting here. This is sort ascending. Why this is sort descending? So for us to know the oldest person is the person with the smallest number, right? Not the age. We are talking of the position. Your position, you were born 2005, and somebody who is born 2010. 2010 is higher than 2005, right? But the 2005 is older than 2010. Somebody that was born on the 1st and somebody that was born on the 20th. Somebody that was born on the 1st is older than the person that was born on the 20th. So let us sort what? Descending. Let us sort ascending. Continue the current selection. We sort ascending, that from the smallest number to the highest number. So you can see that this one is 3009, 3039, 3034. So this is from the highest, right, to the smallest. This is 3030. What are we having here? Okay, no, not just 3030. You see, 34,300 and something. So let's not forget the 4, right? So I think he's not giving us anything in order. So this one is order. We can have mixed up here. We have mixed up here. So let me check. Let me sort ascending and see. Okay. No. I need to expand the selection for us to get what we want. So I only sorted this very column. So let me sort everything in the entire sheet. See, when we sorted, let me continue with the current selection. You know that the ages did not change, the names of the people did not change. So I want to sort to expand selection so that everything will sort together. Will be sorted together, right? I'll sort everything, the entire sheet, expand selection, but expand it. So he said that this one is the oldest, and it has what 22,190. That's the oldest person, has the least number here. While the highest number here, the highest value here, has the least age, right? So the youngest person here has the highest value. Is that understood? Please, if you understand, tell me yes. It's simple. The person, let's say if you were born on the 20th and somebody was born on the 1st, the person that was born on the 1st is older, while the person that was born 20th is the youngest. Okay, that's fine. So that is that. We've used the today's function. We've converted people's, let me say, we've calculated people's ages by their date of birth using the value function. And we use the round down function to round them to their ages without having a decimal place. This one has decimal places. So we don't want to know. This person is 19.9. It means it's remaining small for the person to be 20 years. And if you check it here, you know that, okay, this person is, we are already in May. That's why it's having 0.97. So it means it's remaining small thing for the person to be what? 20 years. That's why you are seeing 0.9. So with this, we will not know if the person is 9 years, 1 month. But with this, we can know that this person is 9 years, 11 months. With this, we can know that this person is 22 years, maybe 10 months, right? With this, we can know that this person is 29 years, 11 months. With this, we can know that, okay, this person is 25 years and maybe 0 months. Can you see where do we have it? 25 years. This is 04. Yeah, 25 years and 0 months. You can see it already. This person was born year 2000 by April. So you can see that it's having 0 months because we have not reached 4th yet. If we reach on the 4, if I change this to maybe 2, I maybe say that this person is 1 month. You can see 0.09 is close to 1 month. So is that understood? Is that understood? If you understand it, you can tell me yes. So this is the end. This check if something is a number or is a text equal to n bracket open. We want to check if this is a number or a text, right? I close my bracket, I enter. It is a number, it will return it. If it's a value, it will return it. That's n. So let us check if it is a number here, this proper. So instead of O2, we use what? L2. If it is not a number, it will return blank or 0, sorry. It will return 0 because this is not what? A number, right? So that's that. So let us also check. There's another one called T. T will check if something is a text or a number. So let me intentionally insert things that are both numbers and text for us to use it. So let me insert here value bam. Let me insert things like 1 something 3 on this and this. Okay, so it will check if something is a number or a text for us here. So is this a number? It will return it. So this is what we should use P2. P2. I enter. So 32 is a number, it return it. These are text, it will return the word 00 where it is text and not a number. So let us check again for text. The T will check if something is a text or number. So let us check this. If it is a text or number, right? Equal to T bracket P2. P2 and close bracket. Is this a text? It will return 0 because this is a number. But when it is a text, it will return the text. Do you understand?